My name is Anthony. I'm from Michigan. This was my first year voting, and I voted for Kamala Harris. At 33 years old, deciding to vote in this election was honestly not a hard choice. The reason I hadn't voted prior is because there wasn't honestly a candidate that suited my personal values. I was a never Trump guy from the very beginning, even before he got into politics. There was just something about his personality that always rubbed me the wrong way. And that was before I found out about going bankrupt half a dozen times, losing almost $500 million that he inherited from his father. Before I found out that he dodged the draft and got phony letters about having bone spurs so that way he didn't have to go to Vietnam. That was before I found out about the E. Jean Carroll situation and all the other alleged victims. And then you had the COVID pandemic, which he completely mishandled because he took the playbook from the Obama administration and did nothing with it, obviously. He thought it would just go away and disappear like the flu, and it cost a lot of lives. January 6th wasn't necessarily a final straw for me because, as I said, I was never on board with him from the beginning. I just saw that as a complete slap to the face to everything I stood for as a soldier until that point. I had gotten out prior to the height of the pandemic, but I was still involved to some degree. My unit was even on active duty status for almost 6 weeks, and we had no game plan whatsoever. We were completely quarantined to the Walker, Michigan area. Our reserve center and our hotel room were the two places we were allowed to go outside of being able to get food and gas for our vehicles, obviously. Not voting for Kamala Harris simply because she's the vice president and hasn't done anything is a really stupid point to try and make, because the vice president can have zero effect on putting policy into law or signing something into action, however you want to word it. The best she can do is advise Biden on, hey, these are some top concerns of the American population. Here are some ideas on how they could improve. That's the best she can do in this administration as the vice president. That is why she now has a plan about helping small businesses with $50,000, helping families with a child tax credit of, I believe, $6,000, first-time home buyers of $25,000, and everything else that I haven't had a chance to read through on her website. Those are just the main bullet points that I keep hearing about over and over again, and why I cast my vote for her last Saturday when early voting began. I've seen the parallels between Donald Trump, cults, and the Nazi Party from the very beginning. Or last summer, in July, right before the Butler, Pennsylvania incident, actually, I posted a video to my YouTube channel and expressed my opinions there. So go see that if you're curious. His comments and rhetoric since have only gotten even more dangerous. And to be quite frank, I don't understand why he still has the following and the support network that he does, because his words are not only disgusting, but they're dangerous. America was built on immigration. Unless you're First Nation or Native American, you are an immigrant. That includes myself. Okay? My lineage is German, Irish, and Dutch. My surname and my mother's maiden name can be traced to England, but all that means is at some point my family went from England to Germany, Ireland, and other places. So, attacking immigrants is completely anti-American. Wanting to deport legal immigrants is completely un-American. Spreading misinformation about Haitian immigrants is completely un-American and, quite frankly, disqualifying of a president or a candidate for the presidency. There has been zero proof of anything happening in Springfield, Ohio, and I've seen very little evidence for anything happening in Aurora. At best, I think it's Russian disinformation, and it can all be tied to Trump's campaign because he has links to Putin. And this isn't a matter of opinion, it's a matter of fact. I trust the reporting that I've heard about him having 7 private conversations with Putin. I believe what I've heard about him sending COVID supplies to Putin. Not to mention, now Musk, is being tied to Putin and Russia. On top of that, all of the right-wing podcasters that were being paid by the Kremlin. So, make of that what you will. A Trump presidency would be a very dangerous thing. And quite frankly, it's not a situation that I want to live through again. And I barely lived through the first one as it is. And I mean that literally, because I did attempt to take my own life during the pandemic. I've made it, and I kept going because I've found the proper support network. But to be honest, I don't know if I could make it through it again. Do the right thing. Vote for the women in your lives. It doesn't matter to me if your mother's too old to have another kid. So what? Your sister maybe. You have nieces that could have kids in the future. You have female cousins that could have kids in the future. Think about them. Think about what a national abortion ban would mean for them. I voted for Kamala Harris because of my nieces. I guess that's all I have to say.